The remains of a stray calf taken by marauding lions. At auction, it would have been worth 5,000 Namibian dollars, roughly 450 euros.
It's not the first time. 2 weeks ago, let me say 3 weeks ago, the lions they come again and kill four cattle there on that side.
39-year-old Solomon Christian is a small-scale farmer with just 34 animals. Losing 5 of them in the space of a few weeks is unaffordable. So he's laying a trap for the lions. For many farmers whose lands border on Namibia's Etosha National Park, that's understandable. But it's also a brutal and perhaps unnecessary answer that claims the lives of dozens of lions every year. This is where the lions cross, the broken fence of a neighbouring game reserve. The Namibian authorities should repair it. But if at all, it's the farmers themselves who take care of the fence. And committed conservationists, such as 51-year-old Namibian Tammy Hoth. Hoth is the head of Africat North, a foundation dedicated to preserving the Namibian lion. She's on the front line of a perennial conflict between farmers trying to protect their livestock and local lions roaming their traditional territory. Namibia's Etosha National Park has around 400 wild lions, who generate millions in tourism revenue. As the top predator, they're vital to the delicately balanced ecosystem. But they're also under threat. In recent decades, lions have been trapped, poisoned or shot. Experts estimate their numbers have been halved over the last 50 years.
Obviously, we want to protect and conserve the lion, but on the other hand, we need to find solutions for this conflict. And the farmer has a problem. He has a real problem because this fence is not being maintained. Nobody's really sure whose responsibility it is. There's no one in a position to really find a solution for these issues except ourselves.
In recent years, Africat has upgraded so-called hotspots along Etosha's southern fence, using spare tyres, for instance, to allow smaller animals to get through while stopping the lions. These improvements have dramatically reduced livestock losses. But the fence is 830 kilometres long. By the time you've repaired one hole, the next has opened.
It's a Warthog track, very fresh in fact, since the last rain, and it's moving. It looks like it came in from Etosha and moved onto farmland and has returned already, which means it originally dug the hole in the Etosha fence and is obviously moving backwards and forwards for water or graze, and creates the hole, which is an invitation for predators to move from the park onto farmland.
This is why Africat also concentrates on livestock protection methods. Hoth works closely with local farmers such as 51-year-old Jeremias Urib. Once a farmer herself, she knows that domestic livestock are easy prey for lions. Africat is currently helping Urib and his community to build what Namibians call a kraal, a holding pen. Putting your animals in one of these overnight, when the lions tend to hunt, is crucial.
This is the 8th kraal that we've built within a year and a half. And the kraals that we've built to date, when the farmers have put the animals inside these kraals, we've had no losses. It's when the animals are grazing outside of the kraals at night. That's when obviously the damage is done.
Jeremias and his wife Maria also have their own kraal. Africat helped them improve it 2 years ago after a traumatic night in which they lost 47 goats.
The lions came from over there. They jumped over the fence here, killed all the goats, and dragged some out to eat them outside.
It was 4 o'clock in the morning. We made fire. My husband fired 2 shots in the air, and the lions ran away. It was a terrible day. I shed a lot of tears for my goats.
Since then, Jeremias and Maria have rebuilt their herd and had no more livestock losses, thanks to Africat's technical and financial assistance. And thanks also to Tammy Hoth's help and commitment.
If we are to make any difference to this human-wildlife conflict situation, it's the people on the ground that have to be convinced of, number one, the value of the wildlife, but obviously their livestock have to be protected.
Die mensen moeten net die hele dieren oppas en die aand en die král en die jag. Het is al probleem wat kan voor ons helpen.
For Tammy Hoth, it's a small victory in her long struggle to convince farmers and predators they can coexist.